What's up, guys? Diamond here. How's it going? So, a little bit ago, we watched anime rock paper crossblades, or scissors, if you want to say that. So, some recommend I should watch how they were made, because I was under the idea that it was mostly AI, and that was already impressive. But apparently, they did some other stuff. So, well, let's figure out how they did it.
You could film yourself and easily turn into anything you want, like a cartoon character. But what if
I have to
this
smell every time I
could
see it,
just
bro.
be a means of capturing performance, and you can visualize whatever your imagination wants afterwards.
Wait, he paid the
This
best
kind of
driver.
no limits creativity is only accessible to films or animations with multi-million-dollar budgets, but it's part of our humanity.
I want to say, dude, the second Avatar movie was a bit disappointing to me. I feel like they were just building in a second movie. That's not the right time, right? You do it in the first one, right? I mean, a lot of people liked it. I thought the first one was better.
To try to
Even that
visualize
wasn't
things
that
that don't
great.
exist. Like, let's talk
In my
about
opinion.
traditional 2D animation, cartoons. The most creatively liberated medium is also the least democratized. It takes incredibly skilled people drawing every single frame of your movie to make it happen. But
So much
I think we
patience
came up
and hard work.
with a new way to animate, a way to turn reality into a cartoon. And it's one more step towards true creative freedom, where we can easily create anything we want.
Yeah.
So how do we do this? How do we turn a video into a cartoon? Well, we've been making a series of videos where we experiment with AI image processing. This is similar to AI image generation, but in our
That could
case,
be like
we
the
are transforming
Spider-Man
images
animation.
rather than generating them from scratch. So one of the newest pieces of technology is a machine learning process known as diffusion. At its core, the diffusion process lets a computer generate an image from
Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I understand everything he says, so I don't look stupid. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're lost, you're not the only one. You're not the only one, okay? Don't
noise,
worry.
much like how we imagine an image from an ink blot or looking at clouds. So if we take a picture we already have and we put a little bit of noise on top, we can have the computer clear up that noise while drawing in new details
Wait,
that
you
weren't
gotta
there before.
distort
It's a lot
it
like
first?
looking at a picture and squinting your eyes and trying to imagine you're looking at something else.
steel.
And if you
Amazing.
squint a lot, well, what you're looking at becomes really fuzzy, and you can imagine
No.
that you're looking at something different. So current technology can do this amazingly with one image. So why haven't we seen it
Could
applied to
draw like
video?
that.
Shouldn't we be seeing mind-blowing visuals all over the internet? Fortunately, the moment people tried applying this to
This
video,
is trippy.
everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Because the first step of the process requires us to noise up our image. Every single frame ends up looking different,
Oh, that's-
and the
that's-
video
that's
gets
so
super
trippy, bro.
flickery. The very nature of this tech seems to make it impossible
I don't like how
to
trippy
ever
this is.
work with video. And well, I nearly gave up on using it, but Dean here at the studio kept experimenting, and he showed that with a little bit of
So this is
VFX
our
problem
hero.
solving, this might be something that we could actually overcome. It was at the time that
It's a
Dean and
spider.
Fenner went out and made that Spider-Verse short, and I set off on a personal quest to use this tech to enable me to make my very own anime. So it was time to Sherlock Holmes our way through this and engineer a solution to this flickery problem. And the first clue was Jurassic Park.
I wonder how long this took, to be honest with you.
6 months ago, a user on YouTube
Legacy
named
Zelda
Hops
goes to
uploaded an
low-poly
experiment.
park.
He had processed Jurassic Park to look like
shit.
low-poly Zelda. And he used an interesting new
This could be
technique
like a
to
PS1
noisify
game.
the image. And he had achieved excellent results.
Oh, these
So
graphics
I'll
are too
explain.
good, never mind.
Every time you process an image, the noise that you put on top changes. Therefore, the forms in the image get changed every frame. If we freeze that noise, things become a lot more solid in the image, but now it kind of feels like the image is moving underneath a weird warp layer, and the details stay inconsistent. So the new trick used in that little Jurassic Park video is simple. If we can turn noise into an image, let's just reverse an image back into the noise it would have come from. Literally just do it backwards. Therefore, the noise is no
Is it hard? I mean, maybe someone knows. Is it hard to distort? Because honestly, if it's easy, I've always wanted to make my own anime, but I am lazy. Ah, damn. Are you walking to my first problem with making an anime?
no longer randomly changing every frame, nor is it locked. If the two frames are nearly the same, so is their fuzzy, noised up versions, and therefore they get interpreted in a similar way. So we had one piece to the puzzle solved. No more random noise.
It looked almost perfect.
But I tried to make my video look like a cartoon,
Oh shit!
and every frame was being drawn with a different cartoon style.
Oh,
So we fixed one problem just to encounter another problem. Dead end? Well, no. Because around this time, style models were becoming a thing in the stable diffusion space. A person named Nitrosock started creating some amazing diffusion models built to convert your image into one specific style. So then it dawned on us. This was the key to eliminating the style flicker. Like imagine telling...
Sorry, I don't want to keep pausing, but some of these look actually insane. Hold on.
Built to convert your image into one specific style. So then it dawned on us. This was the key to eliminating
The one with the white eyes. Hold on. Dude, this one looks so sick.
Style
Yeah.
flicker.
This one a bit less. I don't know, the mustache is a bit all over the place.
Like imagine
That's
telling
insane, though.
100
Yeah,
different
yeah.
people to draw a cartoon dog. You're going to get 100 different dogs back. Now
give you a
imagine
stick
giving
figure
everyone a character
and a dog
style
form.
sheet saying, draw a cartoon dog exactly like this. The images are going to look a lot more similar. So we had to train our own model, specifically on only one style that we wanted to replicate. Another big step forward, but it only uncovered another new problem. On tests I performed
It gave me a little bit
myself, the
Castlevania
features on the
style.
face were still changing and jumping all over the place. So the idea hit
Maybe
us.
that's just 'cause it
we made a
was, like,
video where we trained ourselves
looked like a
into a
castle.
diffusion model so that we could tell an epic fantasy story. Why not do that here?
That look like
I
rhymes.
trained a model to not only replicate a specific style, but to also specifically know a character, me. I trained it on images of me wearing the same
that was so
clothes
funny.
on the same green screen background that I was using for my test sequence. And suddenly, boom,
Bro.
everything locked in. The consistency between frames was hugely improved. Well, almost. It still
People are
wasn't
so
quite
talented, man.
perfect.
That's insane.
But we're VFX artists who have worked with crappy video files. Surely, we must have a tool in our arsenal to deal with light flickering. So, we applied the deflicker plugin in DaVinci Resolve, and we set it to remove
that's all it took?
flickering light. And it was that simple. Suddenly, we were there.
Okay.
It was working. We had a consistent, moving, emotive cartoon character. And it was all just driven with video of us on a green screen.
It's so beautiful, man.
Oh, man.
Can't get
We've
over it.
cracked a workflow here for getting something that looks like a cartoon, and it's pretty bonkers.
It's working, you know. I think we could do maybe a couple more experiments, but that's
mean-
like ready to.
Hold on. So this is a. I'm guessing it's a relatively small group. I saw like what 5 people, but I think like mostly 2 or 3 people probably worked on this. Dude, how good could anime movies and animated movies be if like more people figured out how they did it? Okay, I mean they're explaining it, right? Pretty much. So also, why is this tripping? Why is it going back and forth? Look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a grown-ass man, but I love animated movies. Like not the childish stuff, but the Puss in Boots, great movie. I love that shit. I watched
think
it 3
Nico
times.
has figured
bro.
out
I have
the
an
key to
issue.
creating a consistent character.
So now, it was time to make that anime that I've always wanted to make. Because as you've seen on the channel,
Anime
we have our anime
self-driving
videos. Anime fidget spinners, anime self-driving cars, anime baseball. But they're all filmed for real because we don't run an animation studio and
Man,
it's
I
very
have to
hard
watch
to do
those.
so
I didn't know
these
they
days.
did all that.
So I've had this idea forever. Anime, rock, paper, scissors.
Lost
What
Place,
is the
bro. Come
ultimate
on.
rock, paper,
Commit to
scissors
it.
game? 2 twin princes, born at the same time, equal claim to the
Also,
throne.
dude,
And it must be
I love that they were twins and they didn't even look alike.
decided.
That was the
day
best thing,
between
man.
us died.
They look nothing
Rock,
alike.
paper, scissors must happen. So we wrote this short film. The next step is to treat it like a cartoon, which means recording the dialogue first.
So Nico, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Philip, and I have no idea what voice I'm gonna use. I figured that we would start and saying like.
Yeah, just go through a few lines, and then like we'll throw a filter or 2 on it to help nail the vibe.
My character is
Y'all have such
Jules.
great hair. What the
My
hell?
research here, I just remember the shot of Clint in here screaming into a microphone. I'm just gonna channel Clint today. Nico has said that you whisper and then you scream, and there's no in between.
Full dynamics.
So-
You go really quiet, and then you get really loud, and you do full volume compensation on there, so it just sounds like somehow you have this incredible presence, where even your quietest moments are as loud as your
I
screams.
should talk a bit louder.
So Dean and
no?
I,
have
we did
presence.
the voice acting first, and we just blew out our vocal cords, yelling as loud as we could. So after we did that, we then designed the costumes for each character, basically just went on Etsy and bought some goofy clothes.
Well, look at this high
It looks so good.
level costuming here. Oh no,
okay,
we lost like
it
half
looks
the
a bit
tape.
silly,
What we're
Rob.
trying
In
to do
anime,
is,
it looks
you
so
see these
cool.
all these doodads here is not going to be great for the anime style, because this kind of intricate detail wouldn't be included in the illustrations, because it would just mean more pencil mileage for the animators. So we're covering all that up with a color that's similar to the rest of the costume. Once this is put into the animation space, all this jank gets covered up with beautiful illustrated lines.
What we did on the green screen is we basically imagined that we were puppets, right? We were puppeteering a cartoon character. So we're posing like the cartoon character, and we're not doing any audio recording. Instead, the audio is already
exactly. He said
recorded,
rock,
like a
paper,
real cartoon.
crossbreeds there.
We're out there
I
just going,
know he did. I challenge you.
We're basically just puppets.
because, once again, we're trying to treat it like a cartoon. So there's a specific way we have to film this. We're basically gathering assets, almost like we're gathering paper cutouts that we're gonna then pose in our comic book. A lot of these shots are just us standing in a position, and we just need a single frame, because a lot of animation is just single frames of characters standing there against the background while you hear dialogue. And there's a couple of rules that we've discovered that we have to follow for this. So first and foremost, the style that we're matching, it basically has single direction lighting. It's not like you have characters that are painted with a beautiful edge light and a key light and a fill light and a different direction for an underlight. Like, to actually have to paint that stuff onto a cell would be a lot of work. And so a lot of cartoons don't do that. They just stick to a basic light tone, dark tone shading system at most. And oftentimes it's just a single paint color. At the end,
Like I said, this could change the game. Also, if you made it this far, I challenge you. Hey, let's do one game of rock paper scissors. Let's see if you beat me. Yeah. Hey, don't cheat now. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Did I beat you? Hey, be honest. Is the kingdom mine? Okay, sorry.
At the end of the day, we get to
I
take
won't play
risks.
rock,
We get
paper,
to try
scissors
things
now,
that might break it, because, boy, look at this giant crew we have. Oh, wait, we have like 2 people and an actor. Right?
It
It's
is
like
actually insane.
in Hollywood, you'd have 100 people on set doing a big movie. So we don't need costume department, we don't need makeup department, we don't need a
so
crazy
much the
camera
budget
department.
will go into
Right
the
now, we're just being
quality.
very, very simple and very, very straightforward, and just
I'm
focusing
excited.
on the concept.
The
Sam and I spent a lot of time conceptualizing these shots, because at the end of the day, anime, it's just really all about tying your visual language to the story and really getting into there, stylizing it, thinking about things metaphorically, all that kind of stuff. Once again,
I know
it's
that-
your
I
ideas
don't
that
know the
matter,
name,
right?
but
It's
I
your
know it.
direction, your story, because the AI takes it the rest of the way. I love it. It's such an awesome way to work.
Hey guys, so we are commemorating the launch of this anime rock, paper, scissors video with an awesome limited edition shirt. It's only available for the next 7 days, available in tee and long sleeve tee. It's super cool. It's designed by human. And once again, it's 7 days only. These are limited editions, so
It's the
snag
next
one right
big
now.
shit.
Also, if you want a little tip here, come over here. So subscriptions to our website cost
Missed
$3.99 a
out.
month, but subscribers get a 15% discount on all merch. So if you really want to get cool, you could go and subscribe to our website and then use that discount.
I'm gonna have
and
to
then
look at that
basically
merch
it's the
later.
same price, plus now you have a free 1 month of subscription to our website. Just saying. Don't tell anyone I told you that. This is
Why is
between
this
us.
so-
Cool. All right.
I have to
So now
look
we
at
walked
merch.
you guys
I'm a
through
fan.
the theory
I actually,
and
that one
the
video made
techniques
me
that
a
we're going
huge
to try to
fan. Also,
apply
this
here.
is
Let me
really,
show
really
you the workflow that we came up with that led us to 120 effect shots for this piece. So here's the video of me on the green screen, in costume, doing all the acting with the lip sync, right? So what we want to do is we want to have the AI basically trace this, to trace it in a cartoon style. Because we need to train a model to both know what I look like, as well as what style we want to apply. So when we were on the green screen filming, once we were done, we also took a bunch of pictures of me. My face, my body, different poses, some full body shots, pictures of my back, different lighting. A picture of Nico Peringer. Hey, there I am doing like the weird Fonzie point. So then we went and we took a bunch of frames from Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which is an anime that came out in about the year 2000. It's actually free on YouTube. You can just go watch it if you want to. It's actually pretty cool. And we tried to
I
grab
watched
frames of like
Vampire-
different people, some
Vampire
face shots,
D.
some torso
I don't
shots,
think I
full
watched
body
that one.
shots, hands, hair, even some abstract things like flowers.
Something, yeah.
Because with all these different objects, with each picture effectively being a different object, a different character, when we train the model, it's not going to learn any single subject. Instead, it's going to learn the style in which all these subjects were drawn. One little fun little thing here. If you look at the Vampire Hunter D dataset, you'll notice there's no characters with full beards, because there aren't any characters with full beards in the movie. And this was a problem actually when we first made the model, and it tried to represent me. Sometimes I'd have a mustache, sometimes I'd have mutton chops, it'd be all over the place. So I generated a bunch of pictures of me. Some of them looked good, most of them didn't. But I took the good ones, and I re-added them back into the dataset, and then trained the model one more time. I made a new one. Nico Perringer in the style of Vampire Hunter D. There it is. It's me as an anime man. And notice it's got the costume details correct. It's got my face features correct, my beard. It's the same character every single time.
This is also cool stuff. I'm glad they used their own style.
So we got the model done, and now we can use this for all the shots of me.
So I've just received a fantastic plate from Nico. What I'm gonna do now is take the individual images and we're gonna run each one through Stable Diffusion to get an animated character. You have our positive prompts, which are Vamp Hunt D, aesthetic, style, cell animation of Nico Perringer, man, beard, profile, fist, hand. But we also have this negative prompt section, which can steer us away from certain things, like detailed, intricate, lazy eye, photography, render, CGI. These are all the things that we want to avoid coming out. And then basically there's a bunch of freaking sliders, and it's really boring. And there's all that stuff that Nico goes into way more depth over on corridordigital.com, because we don't want to bog you guys down here with the really silly specific stuff. But there's a bunch of processes that are laying on top of that image to image process. And the output is this. There is a really cool animated frame of Nico. There is actually an interpretive element to what the AI is doing. There's blue shading on the fur on his shoulders and basically two-tone shading in his face. It's a really incredible process that we've gotten way too used to at this point. We kind of forget how crazy this technology is. So what's great is that we can just now run the entire image sequence with this prompt and these settings. It's working really well. But, you know, there's a few janky frames, like his head just pops in for a second and then pops back out. Little inconsistencies, but they only exist on a single frame basis, you know? If only there was a way to kind of remove a little bit of this flicker and smooth out this sequence into a nice, consistent character.
All right, so Dean's given me this whole image sequence now. Let's check it out.
I like to do this.
Not bad.
It's
a little
pretty much step
but
by
like,
step.
It's consistent, right? You can see the
like in a
character, you
broad
can see
way,
some of
I
the
like
mouth
it.
moving. All right, so we take the shot, I'm
It
going
will
to
go
pop
way
it open
above
in
my head
Fusion here
otherwise.
and
I
resolve.
mean, it's still
So the next
going
thing we need
above
to
my
add
head.
is the deflicker. There's two different modes, one for time lapse and one for fluorescent lights. And if we turn on the fluorescent light deflicker, check out the difference. Much better. And if it's not good enough, here's how we fix it. Copy, paste, 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 paste. So now we have all these deflickers turned on. Look how stable my face and my costume are. The next step is just to pull a green screen key and remove the background. And then finally, reduce the frame rate from 24 frames per second to 12 to look a little bit more like animation and remove even more of that flickering feeling. Now that we have an anime man, we need an anime world for him to live in. That's where Sam comes in.
So very early on in the process, we're
How did
thinking,
they do
how do
this?
we get consistency in these shots? We want one environment, one location. So I'm using a environment in Unreal Engine as the foundation for everything. And just like the video, how we're taking a video still frame and then applying a style to that, I'm taking a render from Unreal and applying a style to that. That allows us to have consistency. We can go close up, we can do wide angles, all the same objects in the scene stay consistent. Here's our cathedral here. I think it was called the Gothic Interior Mega Pack. The moment I saw the screenshot,
100% that's a boss fight area.
I knew it was perfect. I've done a little tweaking, redone
I
some
know
of
what
the
game it is,
lighting,
but that's a
little
boss fight area
modifications
right
here and there to make it match the vibe a little bit better. It is just bleeding with sweet, intricate, detailed Gothic style, and it's just ripe for taking cool pictures of. I have a camera placed for every shot in the piece. And if we go back out here, look at that. Look at all these cameras. Every single one of these cameras is a different angle for a different background plate. So shot 250, it's waist up shot, maybe something like here-ish. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not even gonna render these out with like the normal renderer. I'm literally just gonna take screenshots of this stuff. So screenshot, boop. All right, it's a whip pan, so let's pan over, boop, pan over, boop. And maybe one more just for kicks, boop. All right, so now I've gotten 4 images. Stable Diffusion kind of takes it from there. Let's go to my handy dandy prompt sheet of all the different little prompts I've tried out.
I mean,
this one right
I'm
here,
listening, but I don't
expressive
really
oil
understand.
painting, dark, beautiful Gothic cathedral interior, hyper detailed brush strokes, expressive Japanese 1990s, 90s anime movie background.
Oh,
oil
so they
painting
just
that
did this for this
Negative
AI
prompts.
to
Blurry. I'm all set. Let's take a look. All right, so that's basically what the process looks like for all these background plates. Now that these background plates are processed, the shot has everything it needs to get composited.
Basically in anime, there's no 3D moves. It's all either painted backgrounds or cell animated characters. So we wanted to stay true to that.
Yeah, you got a
so
few
for these
outlines.
shots, we have a script that was created by Nico that has everything we need. It's got lens
What the
distortion, it's
hell
got
is all of
clothes,
this?
it's got light rays, it's got all this cool stuff. Basically, we just drop our foreground, our background, and the final output is pretty close to what you want. And you just go in and animate little things and add a little bit of flourish. Here you can see I have the backgrounds that Sam made, and I actually just went into Photoshop and blended them together so you can see the edges kind of smooth out. I took those backgrounds and I just literally animated them scrolling past. And so you can see as well, we've added some directional blur, some lens blur, and then we land on these two windows and do a final little push in. So once we drop Nico on top of that, you can see there's this very dynamic effect that's achieved just by literally moving 2D images behind him. On top of that, we have this cool plugin called Light Rays, which creates these beautiful rays of light, and we're using the plate of Nico to actually obscure those rays. So it really marries Nico to the environment. What we're also adding to emphasize this motion, we took some of the 3D elements of the candelabras from the Unreal scene, we isolated them, and we also turned them into kind of animated candelabras. So you can see here, as the camera's moving, you just whip a candelabra by as if it's in the foreground.
Okay, like, I'm not surprised, but I wish it was like simple so I could do it. I don't think I can do this. I'll lie to you, I don't think I have the capabilities, the skills, the mental fortitude
To kind of emphasize the
That
idea
makes
that
it all the
the
more
camera
impressive, though.
is literally orbiting around in classic anime fashion. To really emphasize the motion, we bring in these speed lines. Right here at the end, we have a couple more anime lines to emphasize the point, because that's a very important character moment. He's challenging my character. So all of that together with a little bit of lens effects. And then the final piece are these glows, which kind of emulate a film camera, because that's how anime used to be shot back in the days. Animation cells would be filmed through a film camera. So we try to emulate those glows. And after all that, we get a sweet shot that I can send back to Nico, and he can drop it right in the edit.
One thing I want to talk about is the democratization of this process. This is a situation here where we're looking at a piece of software that's free, that anyone has access to. A process here that we're sharing openly with everyone, because everyone's openly shared knowledge with us, with everyone. And the way this technology is developing, I want to be able to create really cool things. But the only way I can create really cool things is with the help of other people helping make the technology to create those really cool things. And so, since we've learned and are utilizing an open source program with a lot of contributions of people, I want to give back and I want to contribute our knowledge and put it out there so that you can go and make animations, and people can experiment and improve upon the process, helping all of us get better.
This is the right
So
thing to
in
do,
this
yeah.
video, I'm trying to make a point of really going through the process in a way that's interesting, but I'm not necessarily getting into a click-by-click tutorial. For those of you who want that, we actually have that on our website, corridordigital.com. I'll have a link in the description below. And of course, with everybody's support, that's why this video is even possible. That's why we're able to take 4 or 5 people and spend 2 months just working on an anime about rock, paper, scissors. It's thanks to all the support from the members at corridordigital.com. So with practice, we've got this process dialed in. Shot by shot, we just started getting faster and better. And at this point, we are blowing through the piece, and it is working. It's incredibly exciting. Now, most people in the office haven't actually seen much of this yet. So we're gonna get it wrapped up here with the sound and music and all that good stuff. I'm gonna show it to them. Let's see what they think.
Now that I think the shadows were pretty insane, weren't they? How they did it. Compared, like as I said before, normally animation is the shadows are simple because I mean, I don't think people really care, but it is nice to look at if it's done well.
Let's see if we can blow their minds.
It's done. We
Oh,
theoretically everything
I'm
dropped
so
in.
excited
Haven't
for
watched
this.
it yet. Just exported it, and everybody's gonna watch it with us.
I think it's safe to say that most of us here have not seen anything.
I've seen one completed shot, and it absolutely blew my mind, and I can't wait to see the rest of it.
I have not seen
Why
it.
am I excited? I've seen it. Why am I
I'm
excited?
super excited for because Kevin Senzaki is so good at what he does. And man, mwah.
I'm here for Kevin.
Damn right you are.
I challenge you!
I bet they can make some sick fights as well. Fuck these people. You know?
It feels like
Wrap
a
it up.
real anime in real life.
These were 2
And
months.
that's
It was
what it
worth
is.
it, bro.
There's like
Holy
all
shit.
sorts of wacky AI jank that creeps in, but you're so used to it that it doesn't feel like jank
I didn't
anymore.
notice that. I didn't
The
notice
song
any
that
jank
Sam
stuff.
found for the ending, Fenner made this amazing shot where my fist comes down and there's just this anime blast that happens, and then you just have this drum roll coming. Yeah, it just all melds, and then you just get kinda
Evil
lost in it.
smell.
Are we gonna get another one? Dean's coming back to seek vengeance.
At the end of all the anime
Season
videos, we always do one of those
Season.
montages of like, and now here's all the things that happen afterwards, which are like supposed to be like the end credit joke, but this one is the ultimate fast forward a whole season in this montage, and it subconsciously makes you go, oh yeah, there's a whole story here. But we were just like spitballing random shots.
No, don't ruin it to me.
If we get to do another one, it's entirely up to corridordigital.com subscribers. We have a tutorial on how we do this whole thing, plus a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Want to check it out and
There's a
support us?
chance.
Help us make more stuff like this? Super cool.
Nico, you know, this is a fun video and all, but I'm genuinely curious.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Who would win in a genuine battle?
I'm proud of you both.
I'll make you proud.
If you dare.
One!
Ah, come on, guys. Hey, focus up.
It happens at normal speed.
Okay. 1, 2, wait, shoot, wait. 1, 2, 3, shoot!
Damn it! Oh, the enemy's true to the story. It's canon, guys. It's freaking canon. Oh my god. So insane. I honestly, I don't even think I was really interacting. I was just smiling, bro. I was just smiling the entire time. Oh, oh my god. I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to the future with these types of things, because sometimes it's easy to forget with a lot of dark stuff happening in the world to people, mankind, humankind, whatever you want to call it, bro. We got some stars. We got some great people out there, bro. Okay. That was sick. Anyway, if you lost the first round, you made it to the end, and let's do one more. Let's do one more. Hey, don't cheat. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Did I get you? Be honest. Did it 2-0 you, or is it 1-1? I have to know, because we might have to do a tiebreaker. We might have to do a tiebreaker. Anyway, peace.